Blind squirrels, broken clocks, and mushy-brained propagandized liberals, they all prove that anyone can be on the money every once in a while. Everyone's going to be right eventually. And that's what's going on with Jen Psaki right now. She may actually be, after all her trying, she may have actually said something correct. And she says that Joe Biden's presidency is just about over.
And that, Jen Psaki, is probably the play for Democrats and for the Biden campaign. I mean, I thought the, family picture with the Kennedys was pretty funny and powerful. I still don't understand. I'm wondering if you have any insight into what RFK thinks he's doing, or does he know what he's doing, and is that what he wants to do? But back to what the Biden campaign should be doing.
Well, I don't want to be in RFK Jr.'s brain, where he doesn't believe in science and all sorts of other things.
Always the good propagandist, man. I don't want to be in RFK's head, she says, because he doesn't believe in science. That's not why I stopped this, but I do love when these lazy corporate media types go back to their lazy pandemic roots and try to reaffirm for the victims in their audience that anyone who questions the government-approved narrative just doesn't believe in science. I mean, that still never gets old. But that's not why I stopped this. Did you see what Kerry Kennedy posted on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it? If you missed that, she said, "It's not enough to wish the world was better. You have to make the world better. President Biden, you make the world better. Happy St. Patrick's Day." And I just got to ask, even if you're an already castrated, vote blue, no matter who type person, in what measurable way is the world better now? People are dead in Eastern Europe. People are dead in the Middle East. Women and girls are now slaves again in Afghanistan. We've got record homeless in this country, record inflation, record illegal immigration. And we've become the ending point of the most dangerous land migration route in world recorded history. There is no possible way to honestly say, no matter what your politics are, that Joe Biden has made the world better.
But I will say, Mika, I was nodding along as Tom was just talking. I think this is the biggest challenge. There is unquestionably, Trump has a broad support in his base, as we've just been discussing, and we've seen that play out in the primary. That's the only piece, though, we know at this point. He has problems among independents and problems with an expanded electorate. But these third-party candidates are a huge, huge, huge problem, and there's a number of them. If you look at RFK Jr., it's the name recognition issue, as Tom was just talking about. And there are still states in this country, obviously, I mean, Georgia is one of them, I will name, where the Kennedy name is beloved, right? Where people may just not where they may just not know a lot about the fact that he is an anti-vaxxer who's a conspiracy theorist.
Just look at the way she framed that, man. There are places where the Kennedy name is believed, she says, and these people will be too dumb to recognize that he's an anti-vax conspiracy theorist, whatever that means. But what she means is there are places where people don't believe media bullshit. Places where people can actually still make up their minds for themselves. And nothing scares the left more than those people in those places. Because in any place where you can still think for yourself, the very last thing you will ever think is that Joe Biden makes the world a better place.
They don't know that yet. So this is something, there is an aggressive effort that the campaign has been working with the Democratic National Committee on to run on this. But it needs to be broad. People need to be shouting it from the rooftops, because this is one of the biggest threats to Joe Biden being reelected, is these third-party candidates. If you look at Michigan, Mika, and I know Senator Alyssa Slotkin is going to be on later. I almost called her Senator. Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin is going to be on later. Michigan is a state where RFK, I think, is polling at 10%, right? And so this is a place where Joe Biden needs to win, and RFK Jr. is making a real threat to that. So it's good we're talking about it. It is a real threat. They're aware of it, but more needs to be done, and more people need to be talking about it and aware.
Isn't that something, man? I mean, they're freaking out. They are freaking out that the concept of more choices for the American people means less power for the machine. And that is essentially what they're saying. They recognize that the only way that they win is if people have A, no clue, or B, no choice. And what they really prefer is what, honestly, they get in a lot of cases. They get both. They get people with no choice and with no clue. But I think that that really only happens when people also have no care. And those people don't exist anymore. The problem the Democrats, I think, are going to have is they've convinced people to trust them so many times. They've convinced people that they're the caring ones, that they're the virtuous ones. And every time they've convinced more people, they have wasted every single bit of it. If they had even done just a half-assed job, no one would care. No one would care. They'd still be buying that Republicans are racist and Republicans hate democracy and Republicans even hate them. They would still believe it. But the problem I think these people are going to realize, the problem I hope that they realize, is that even if people do still believe that nonsense, they recognize that they have got to save themselves from the Democrats before they can even think about saving democracy from the Republicans. But that's just my take, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.